Many football fans don't bother to pay attention to the importance of a quality backup quarterback, but they should. Just look at all the teams who won a Super Bowl with a backup QB, like Washington with Doug Williams in 1987, the 1990 New York Giants with Jeff Hostetler, and the Philadelphia Eagles with Nick Foles in 2017. Several NFL teams have a great quarterback room, with proven guys as their second or third stringers. Other teams, let's just say they should get themselves some better quarterback insurance. Here are our rankings for all 32 second-string quarterbacks from worst to first. Number 32, John Wolford, Los Angeles Rams. The undrafted product out of Wake Forest joined the New York Jets in 2018, but he was one of their final preseason cuts. The Rams signed the former AAF quarterback in 2019, and the man has yet to play a single snap in a regular season game. Until that changes, it's hard to see how he'll move out of the number 32 spot. Number 31, Sean Mannion, Minnesota Vikings. Mannion served as the Rams' backup from 2015 to 2018. He made one start in a meaningless Week 17 game against the San Francisco 49ers. Mannion joined the Vikings in 2019, and he played their Week 17 contest against the Chicago Bears after the team locked up a playoff spot. Mannion was far from inspiring, with 12 completions for 126 yards, no TDs, and 2 picks. We feel like the Vikings could do a little better here in regards to quarterback insurance. What say you? Number 30, Matt Barkley, Buffalo Bills. Aside from those 6 starts he made on a lowly Chicago Bears team in 2016, Barkley has been a backup throughout his entire career. Not a whole lot to love here. A 58.8 completion percentage through the 2019 season with 10 touchdowns and 21 interceptions? Oh, Buffalo, there are better options for Josh Allen's understudy. Number 29, PJ Walker, Carolina Panthers. Walker was by far the XFL's most dominant player before its 2020 season had to be shut down due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He led the league in both passing yards and passing touchdowns. Walker's dominance was enough to secure a contract with the Panthers, who hired his former Temple head coach, Matt Rule. Wouldn't be shocking if Rule turned Walker into a serviceable backup, but we must see more before placing him higher in our rankings. Number 28. Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers. The Packers traded up to draft the Utah State QB with the number 26 selection in 2020. Not sure if we've ever seen a more universally panned draft pick in our entire lives, but the kid has a lot of talent, and as everyone knows, this organization has a knack for making quarterbacks legendary. So try to give Love a break here. Number 27, Jeff Driskel, Denver Broncos. Driskel lost 4 of the 5 starts he made for the Cincinnati Bengals in 2018, replacing an injured Andy Dalton. He had to fill in for an injured Matthew Stafford on a flawed Detroit's Lion Club in 3 games during 2019. Driskel lost all 3 of them. He's clearly best suited as a backup and not as a starter. If Drew Lock struggles, the Broncos fans better hold their breath because Driskel isn't gonna save them. Number 26, Mason Rudolph, Pittsburgh Steelers. Rudolph and Devlin Hodges were mediocre at best as Pittsburgh's backup. Half-decent play would have gotten this team to the playoffs despite losing Ben Roethlisberger for the season in Week 2, but neither of them were up for the challenge. Very surprising that Pittsburgh didn't upgrade at QB this offseason. Number 25, Ryan Finley, Cincinnati Bengals. Finley lost all 3 starts for the Bengals last season, completing only 47.1% of his passes for 2 touchdowns and as many interceptions. Obviously lackluster and all, but he was also on football's worst team of 2019. Can't blame Finley. Still too early to tell if he can be a serviceable backup in his career. Number 24, Mike Glennon, Jacksonville Jaguars. Glennon is 6-16 as a starter for his career, but all those came on awful Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Chicago Bears teams. Through 2019, he had 36 career TDs against 20 interceptions, which is not too bad at all. Number 23, Brett Hundley, Arizona Cardinals. Hundley had his moment as the Packers starter in 2017, with Aaron Rodgers sidelined due to a fractured collarbone. But we only saw 11 pass attempts from him with the Cardinals in 2019, so it's still kind of hard to judge his performance to date. Number 22, Colt McCoy, New York Giants. He had his moment as the starter in Cleveland and Washington, but McCoy was never consistent, and he's obviously best suited as a backup. He's not going to take the reins from Daniel Jones in New York, but I mean, it's good to have an experienced former starter as your backup. Number 21, Trevor Siemian, Tennessee Titans. Siemian did go 13-11 as the Denver Broncos starter in 2016 and 2018, but he was quite the turnover machine with 24 interceptions in 26 games. And you know it was the defense that mainly won those games for him. He made one appearance for the Jets in 2019, completing 3 of 6 pass attempts. Meh, the Titans could have better backup options, but we take Siemian over 1/3 of the current second stringers. Number 20, A.J. McCarron, Houston Texans. The former Alabama star showed his potential to be a starter in 2015 for the Bengals. He won 2 of 3 starts in relief of an injured Andy Dalton and nearly led this team to an upset win over Pittsburgh in the wildcard round. McCarron has never got a chance to start again, however, but he's a very solid backup for Deshaun Watson here. Number 19, Blaine Gabbert, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He didn't come close to living up to expectations as the 10th overall pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2011, but Gabbert has worked decently as a backup. He did win 2 of 3 starts for the Titans in 2018, filling in for an injured Marcus Mariota. He had some brief flashes in Arizona and San Francisco too. All in all, it's hard to complain about this guy as your backup. Number 18, Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles. Many were surprised when the Eagles took the Oklahoma QB with the number 53 selection in this year's draft. Well, you have to admire the boldness. Doug Peterson will find so many crafty ways to use Hurts, you can bet on it. Given Hurts' high skill set and Peterson's savvy offensive mind, we really could see the former developing into a quality backup for the oft-injured Carson Wentz. Maybe they drafted him a bit too early, but Hurts should be an impact player of some sort in Philly. Number 17, Chase Daniel, Detroit Lions. Daniel has had the fortunes of working with offensive geniuses like Sean Payton, Andy Reid, and Doug Peterson. So the man has clearly learned from the very best. Daniel has looked pretty solid compared to most other backup quarterbacks when called upon, but with only 5 career starts in the past decade, it's impossible to make a fair judgment on him. So the middle of the pack seems fair here. Number 16, Chad Henne, Kansas City Chiefs. Henne had his moments as the former Miami Dolphins starter from 2009 to 2011, compiling a 13-15 record. He also won 4 games on a miserable Jaguars team in 2013. So, you know, the dude is at least average in regards to backup QBs. Nice to see him win a Super Bowl 54 ring with the Chiefs after spending the bulk of his career on bad football teams. Number 15, Geno Smith, Seattle Seahawks. Honestly, credit Smith for winning 12 of 30 starts with the Jets, considering how bad those teams were. He went 8-8 as a rookie in 2013. Not half bad, really. We like Smith as Seattle's backup. We're sure he's learned how to improve his accuracy and ball control from Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll. If Smith ever started again, he'd probably fare better compared to his time with the Jets. Number 14, Joe Flacco, New York Jets. Yes, he's a Super Bowl 47 champion who won MVP honors in the big game, but man, his regular season production just gets worse and worse every year. Flacco has simply accepted that he won't be a starter anymore. At least he accomplished what every football player dreams of. Number 13, Matt Schaub, Atlanta Falcons. Don't forget this man had 39 completions and 460 yards against the Seattle Seahawks in 2019, filling in for an injured Matt Ryan. Clearly, the former Houston Texans Pro Bowler has something left in the tank. It would have been nice to see Schaub land another starting gig, but I guess if Matty Ice ever wants a rest for whatever reason, they can just put the other quarterback named Matt in. He's proven he can get the job done. Number 12, Robert Griffin III, Baltimore Ravens. It's sad that Washington ruined the career of the 2012 Offensive Rookie of the Year, but the humble RG3 has embraced his role as a backup for the Ravens, and he's actually looked decent in the brief action he's seen. Griffin started in place of Lamar Jackson in Week 17 against Pittsburgh, guiding the Ravens to a 28-10 victory. He's displayed good ball control and a good understanding of John Harbaugh's offense. They have a very solid backup situation in Baltimore right now. Number 11, Nick Mullins, San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo suffered a season-ending ACL tear in Week 3 of the 2018 season. Kyle Shanahan then turned to Nick Mullins as a starter, and the undrafted Southern Miss product performed beautifully. Mullins went 3-5 as a starter. He completed 64.2% of his passes for 2,277 yards and 13 touchdowns against 10 interceptions. He's a very good backup, and we wouldn't be surprised if he became a starter with someone down the road. Number 10, Jarrett Stidham, New England Patriots. The fact that Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels were prepared to make Stidham the starter before signing Cam Newton goes to show how much they like him. Not to mention that Belichick makes any Patriots quarterback good. Just look at Matt Castle, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jacoby Brissett. Pretty sure Stidham can be a capable starter, but who knows if his opportunity will come in New England. Stay tuned. Number 9, Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. This man has a very high ceiling and a tremendous skill set. The Chargers took him 6 overall for a reason. Might need a year or two to fully develop, but when he's ready, Herbert will be a star. That's why he's in our top 10. Number 8, Case Keenum, Cleveland Browns. Inconsistent production as a starter for the Broncos, Texans, and Rams, but hey, he did throw the Minneapolis Miracle and he took Minnesota to the 2017 NFC Championship game. That counts for something. Keenum shouldn't be a full-time starter, but he's more than solid as a backup. Number 7, Alex Smith, Washington Football Team. Dwayne Haskins was named the starter for Week 1 of the 2020 season. Will Smith play again after a life-threatening leg injury that he suffered in 2018? We'd love him to pull off the ultimate comeback story. Even if he doesn't start again, the 3-time Pro Bowler at least provides Washington with a top-tier backup option. Number 6, Jacoby Brissett, Indianapolis Colts. Brissett wasn't terrible as the Colts starter in 2017 and 2019 by any means, but the Colts simply needed better if they wanted to win now. That's why they went out and signed Phillip Rivers. With a little more time and work, Brissett could be a long-term starter, be it in Indianapolis or somewhere else. He's great at protecting the football and can excel as a game manager. Don't be surprised if he's starting again by 2022. Number 5, Marcus Mariota, Las Vegas Raiders. Mariota never reached his full potential in Tennessee, but he's still a starting caliber quarterback. For the most part, he protects the ball well. He's a dynamic dual threat signal caller, and he did guide Tennessee to 3 straight winning seasons from 2016 to 2018. If Derek Carr struggles in 2020, the Raiders have to give Mariota a chance to revive his career. The former 2nd overall pick is too good to be a backup. Number 4, Nick Foles, Chicago Bears. No, he hasn't succeeded outside of Philadelphia, but last time we checked, the Super Bowl MVP is still a Super Bowl MVP. Not sure how the Bears settled on Mitch Trubisky as their Week 1 starter over Foles, but at least they're ready in case their 2017 2nd overall pick continues to struggle. Number 3, Jameis Winston, New Orleans Saints. The 2019 passing yards leader is your backup? That's a pretty solid QB depth chart you've got there, Sean Payton. Winston probably isn't the successor to Drew Brees in New Orleans, but learning from Payton and the all-time passing yards and passing TDs leader will help him succeed at his next NFL stop. Good on Winston for sacrificing a potential starting gig for 1 year so that he can learn from the best and improve his long-term career. Number 2, Andy Dalton, Dallas Cowboys. The Bengals held on to Dalton for 2 or 3 years too long, but that doesn't take away the fact that he's a starting caliber QB. It was very surprising that nobody else wanted to make him their starter in 2020, and that he was keen to sign as Dak Prescott's backup for a year. It's anyone's guess whether or not he'll get another crack at a starting job, but for now, the Cowboys have the NFL's 2nd best backup in Andy Dalton. Number 1, Tua Tagovailoa, Miami Dolphins. Ryan Fitzpatrick opened the 2020 season as Miami's starter, which means the number 5 pick from the 2020 draft is currently the NFL's best backup quarterback. Everybody knows that the Alabama product will be a superstar once the Dolphins call on him. Technically, nobody is a sure thing to succeed, but we all know that Tua will be a franchise changer. For now, however, he tops our list of the league's best 2nd stringers. Who do you think is the best backup quarterback in the NFL right now? Join us in the comment section below. And if you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.